what we've seen, as far as the banking system is concerned, is a system that is well established, that is sophisticated, that has a regulatory framework, but more importantly, that has entrepreneurs who are full of energy, who are full of zeal, who work very hard, who are entrepreneurial, who seize the opportunities. So despite what you say about, for instance, some of the red tape that may exist in the government or the regulations in India, India is all about entrepreneurs. And working with these entrepreneurs, we've been able to extract opportunities because Indian corporates are very much interested in Africa. They're actively involved in finding opportunities for new markets in Africa. They want to export their products to this country as well as the rest of the continent. So we found very fertile ground when we went to India. And of course, went through the normal process of identifying all the different criteria that we wanted to be in place before we could make a decision. But I must tell you, one of the biggest challenges that we faced was to change our people's mindsets. I must say, in 2007, I counted no less than 40 different delegations from FirstRand and different parts of FirstRand who went to India on fact-finding missions. But what we found when people came back was that it was still easier for people to decide to go and work and do business in Australia or the UK than it was to go to India. So that's why for a lot of companies that are represented here today, we must always be careful, because when executives come and present you proposals, very often they want to go to those places that are very nice to live, very cool to live, as opposed to what is really good for business. So it took a lot of cajoling, a lot of convincing, and in fact, if it wasn't for the global financial crisis in 2008, we probably would still be looking at opportunities in places like Australia or Canada or those places that are sort of first world. But I think what the global crisis actually did was to encourage our people, one, to realize that the opportunities that they thought existed in those first world countries, in fact, were not there. And where the biggest opportunities were in Africa and India as well as China. So that played a very important role in us finally making a decision to go to India. When we set up a business in India, we always have a plan that says we must be able to get a return on our investment in a period of at least about 36 months. And I must tell you, we've been operating there, having gotten the official license in the latter part of 2009 for less than 24 months. And the telling story is that today, FirstRand makes a comfortable profit in that business that we started in India. We found a number of professionals in the banking sector that work very hard. I call Mahendran when he's in India at about 9 p.m. India time. And you're going to find an office full of people who are working, who have knocked off at 4:30 or 5 o'clock, as we typically see in this country, as an example. So we have a group of hardworking people that don't work because they're going to be paid a huge bonus at the end of the day. It's just in their nature. It's a culture that when you go to work, you put in more than your pounds worth of work.